At this point, we're pretty much well done with rolling out the slab. We're just going to fine tune a few things here and there. Now you've got the top of the slab and the bottom of the slab that is rather thick areas of clay. I'm not concerned with that though. I'm only concerned with the area in between the dowels. That's going to be my actual tile. The remaining clay at the top of the slab and the bottom of the slab will be used to decorate the tile. So we are going to keep that. It'll kind of be like scrap clay, but it will get used. You just focus on the areas in between the dowels. Now I know I'm done rolling my slab because I can tell the rolling pin is only making contact with the dowel, and at this point I'm not really interacting with clay much. So when you hear the sound of the rolling pin only hitting the dowel, you're pretty much done with rolling out your slab, and you'll see an even thickness as well along the side of the slab. That means your slab is now dowel thick, which is good. Don't worry about any strange bumps or textures on the top of your slab. You will smooth that away, and I'll talk about that in the next video. For now, let's start to actually physically cut down the tile to the desired shape we want. You can use the plastic knife I've previously given you or a bent paper clip. I recommend using maybe a knife to mark out your lines before you cut. You want to figure out 6 inch in length and 6 inches in width. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making just little marker points, little indications, so I know where to cut later. So this plastic knife is kind of good for that. So 6 inches wide, 6 inches long. That's your goal here. And you can see my marks. I've got 4 marks. Now use your ruler as a straight edge. Don't just freestyle that cut. Make sure it's a nice clean edge. You can see the knife does an okay job of cutting, but honestly a bent out straightened paper clip cuts much better. You get a much cleaner cut. Now take that scrap clay and put it in the small Ziploc bag I gave you. There may be some other tools in there. You'll have to transfer them to another spot. And you'll see I'll start to fill that bag with more and more clay. Although technically it's not really scrap clay, we are going to use it to decorate the top of our tile. And I'll cover that in later videos. Before you put your clay in your bag, though, you may want to rehydrate it, kind of massage in some moisture. Push out all the air from your bag. But again, I'll have more clay to add to that bag in just a minute here. So at this point, I'm still focusing on cutting down all 4 sides of my tile. I've cut one side. Now I'm going to address another side. Use a paper clip. I recommend that paper clip for cutting. I've got some additional decorating clay. We're going to throw that in our bag and call that reserve clay. We're reserving that for later. Now you have dried out that clay in making your slab. Remember that. So you want to rehydrate it. Get a little moisture in that clay. Massage it in. Now I'm focusing on cutting down side number 3. This isn't going to produce much scrap clay. It's just going to get me a little sliver, but it's still clay nonetheless, which I can use later down the road for decorating. So get that scrunched up as a little chunk. And then finally it's on to the last side, where I again will probably only have a sliver of scrap. There we go. So that's all the temporary scrap clay I have. Again, you want to keep it hydrated. I recommend dunking your fingertips in some water and flicking your fingertips into the bag so you've got little droplets of moisture in the bag as well. Push out all the air and seal that shut. You'll work with that clay later for decorating purposes. Otherwise, our tile is cut. It may not look pretty just yet, but in the next video, I'll talk about smoothing and how to clean up the top of the tile and the four sides.